Hey, hey, my magicals, and welcome to our winter solstice reading. I'm really excited for this one. I know that most people kind of go into winter solstices or go into winter and they kind of slow down and go into a natural hibernation. Of course, Mara does the exact opposite and comes to life. What are you going to do about that? Okay, so guys, today, it's quite an important one. I realize I have been remiss in not doing solstice readings properly in the past. That's going to change. Mostly because, as most of you know, I am a witch, I am Wiccan, and so I work with the circle of life very clearly and very strongly, but maybe haven't been projecting that out onto the YouTube platform. And it doesn't really matter what your faith is, but it's about understanding the cycles of life that we're going through. Okay. So what I'm going to say is that this is going to really specifically be for Southern Hemisphere at the moment. And we are now going into on the between the 20th and the 23rd, we go into what we call the Yule solstice or our winter solstice. Okay. And it's really important that we honor the different spaces that these cycles bring to us. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what the Wheel of Life is, I'm just going to quickly show you. I've got a pendulum board here that I've had made up. And basically what it is, you can't see the top though, which is what you actually need to see. Here, I'm going to hold it like that a little bit. Okay, basically what you need to see is here, is that you've got the different what we call sabbats, right, which are like holy days. They're celebrations in the calendar. But if you have a look here, you go autumn equinox, which is Mabon, Yule is winter, Ostara is spring, and Litha is summer. Okay, those are the 4 equinoxes we have around the seasons that we work with. And if you can see clearly there, if you have a look there, Yule comes up in the southern hemisphere, 20th to the 23rd of June. Right, so we are going into our winter solstice now, right? And one of the things about, and please just don't misunderstand me, I'm not punting the Wiccan faith in any which way, shape, or form, but when we talk about working with the cycles and understanding why the Wiccans work the way they do, it's because we start honoring the cycles and what they bring to the table, okay? And for us, come winter time, just like nature does, nature and Gaia and the universe is asking for us to go into a space of hibernation, right? Now, as much as I'd like to say that, yes, we can all get into bed for 3 months and do fokololos, we all know that that's not a reality and that's not something that can happen. We still have to adult and we have to work. But on a spiritual level, we are given the opportunity to reflect in different ways and to understand that this is a period of our time where we go in. It is also the darkest time of the year, right? So this does lend us that ability to tune into our shadow sides more easily, right? And to focus on what our shadow sides. Now, before everyone starts getting hysterical, and for those who don't know, our shadow side is simply our subconscious. It's the stuff that we keep hidden because we maybe don't know that it's there, or it's something that has been a trauma for us that we have suppressed. It's that kind of energy. Okay, we call it our shadow because we work in the light, and then of course to balance out the light there has to be the dark. So what I want to say to you is this reading is going to be looking very clearly at where we need to be focusing our hibernation space this year, what it means to us, and what we're going to be looking at. So I'm doing a very different spread this time. It's a very, very different spread. And I do just want to say that it is not my spread. So I need to give credit to the creators of it, which is the almanac supply company.com. They've created the spread. Okay, so it is not my spread. I've slightly altered the questions, but the core of the questions around the spread are exactly the same, the core energy. Right, okay. So we're going to do that. Please also bear with me. I am working with a deck that I absolutely love, but that I haven't used very often. So I have got a little bit of a thing going on here with some notes just to make sure that there's nothing that is incorrect. But I do believe that the energy of this, it's the Wildwood Tarot, right? And it does actually completely tune into the energy of the cycle of the wheel of life, the cycle of life. It's actually designed around that. Okay, so we're going to be using that as our main one, and we'll be using the Everyday Witch as our clarifier if we need it. Okay, so having said that, we're just going to spray some heart chakra spray around that we may be open to receiving the messages that come through today. Take a nice deep breath in. Focus that you receive the messages for your highest intention. All the decks today have a very Celtic, grounded kind of energy, Gaia kind of feel to them. Okay, so we're going to start off. They have all been shuffled. I'm going to do this. I've suddenly become aware of the fact that I do clonk, clonk, clock on here. And if you are wearing headphones, that it might just be a little bit much for those guys. So I'm sorry if I've been shuffling loudly in the past and not realizing. Okay, can you please give us the general energies around this Yule solstice for us, please? What does the collective spirit need to know in terms of general energies? I'm using the deck, The Mists of Avalon Oracle by Rose and Sarah. What do they need to know? I have a feeling that this is going to be quite a powerful reading. I was instructed to clear properly, and so just please. Oh, okay, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, is there one more? Is there one more, please, Spirit? There we go. Right. Okay. I do feel like this is going to be quite a powerful reading. It's just that has that energy about it. So just bear with me as we go through this. I really want to do this really, really well for you guys. Okay, so the first card out, one of my favorite cards of this deck, is the Lady of the Lake. Okay. We're talking about the goddess, the other world, self-knowledge, and mystery. Now, one of the reasons why this card has come up through this, bearing in mind that we're looking at the collective energy around this particular area, right? This particular, not area, my bad, sorry, this particular season, this hibernation space that we're going into, right? Is that this is a time of exactly that. It's a time of self-knowledge. Remember, I said to you, we face our shadow side. We work in with the goddess energy here about receiving. It can be anything around receiving. How do I say this? It's about receiving messages. It's about receiving truth. It could be around actually receiving physical help. It could be around receiving things that are coming to us, that are meant to come to us, right? It's also just about receiving the energy of the season. We very much rush through things all the time. And I'm being told that over the next few months, we really need to stop and take a breath. For those of you that did my year ahead readings, I've said to you all along that up until June, there was going to be a lot of work to put in. And from July, if you'd put the work in and did what you needed to do, July to December would be a different kind of energy. And that's definitely the feeling I'm feeling around this, right? So this is very much about being in the receptive mode, being open to whatever comes, the mystery, having faith that whatever you've manifested or that you're wanting to achieve is there for you. The other world, I don't feel like this is very much about the other worlds in terms of, well, it is about the spirit realm because you will be working with the spirit realm, but I don't get it in terms of anything like dark per se, tuning into the energy of it. I'm more getting the feeling of how do I say this? Sorry, I'm getting a feeling, just give me a second. Okay, they're talking to me about your inner reality. So this is the other world. I always say to people that our inner reality creates our external reality, right? So this is about going into your inner reality now during this time, taking this time to really spiritually hibernate, to find where you are at. Okay, then we have Camelot. Oh, that's a 7 number, 17, by the way, which comes down to 8, which is the number of abundance. Remember, we are in an 8 year, right? And also, it talks about self. The number 8 is the number of self. We have 6 here, and it's Camelot. It talks about aspiration, ideas, trust, and honor. What did I just say to you about having the faith with the mystery that what you had wanted or what you were putting into action would work? It's the same kind of energy around here. This is the time, right, to be inspired. Let me just show you this here as well. That's incredible. Brigid came out. She's one of my favorite goddesses. She's one of the 3 goddesses I work with most. Celtic goddess of inspiration and the eternal flame. Soul empowerment, passion, radiance, and birth. Okay, so basically what I'm getting here is that this is going to be a hibernation space on focusing on what you are needing to release, because we released, you'll see the questions that come up around the cards I bring out. And the actual the layout of the cards, right? But what I want to say to you here is that this is very much about finding your passion, but more than that, guys, it's going that one step further. This is about soul purpose. The Lady of the Lake showing up. The Lady of the Lake ran Avalon. She was like the head goddess of Avalon. So she was the one who would get the divine inspiration to guide Avalon and its followers in the way of the goddess, right, in that time. So what I'm hearing here very clearly is that this period is very much going to be about us taking this time to find our soul stuff, our soul passion. In the shadow side of that, we're going to obviously then be looking at things like where our blocks are with that. What are we holding onto in our subconscious that is not allowing us to step into our power, self-empowerment with Brigid, right? It talks about coming out the other side of this into spring, being reborn as something new, something other, right? And I have to tell you, I have, especially the light workers that I know, the people that I have in my circle, there's definitely been an energy of a serious purge where things have gone seriously hectically in their lives. And then coming out of that, we've all kind of felt this like, okay, do you know what? Now what I need to do is this, or now what I need to do is that, or we're all feeling like we need to change ourselves in some way, not to benefit anyone else, but for ourselves, like the level up. And I kind of feel like that's the energy. It's giving us that breathing space, right? For us to assess what no longer works. And I say this to you often, guys. Remember that this is on the new moon and the full, not the new moon. I'm lying to you, completely lying, lies and filth. I'm completely young. It's on the energy of the full moon in Capricorn, right? Which is the opposite sign to Cancer. It's an earth sign. It's about grounding ourselves in stability and putting things into action in the right time. Okay, guys, this is a journey. There's the destination, there's Camelot, there's what we want, but it's a journey. It takes time. This is not something that can be rushed, right? So in this time, they're calling for you to assess where you're really wanting to go. I'm getting that very strongly. Like it's a case of where you're really wanting to go. Who are you wanting to be? I feel more to the point of just what you're wanting to do and where you're wanting to go. I'm feeling this energy of who do I really want to be? What am I holding myself back from? Right? And Kelso's saying the possibilities are endless because at the end of the day, we are absolutely in nature. Sorry, I just need to have a sip of water in my throat again. Turns out that I need to look at this strongly too. Okay, so, and I will absolutely be doing this set out for myself on the thing. Oh, quick admin, I'm putting up a pop-up for this. So what will happen is wherever I advertise the reading, wherever it comes up, and in the description box below, there will be contact details for a pop-up. This will be a pop-up reading. So if anyone is interested in getting their personal reading and what they need to focus on, then we will look at that. Okay, Spirit, talk to us, please, about what it is that we need to know about what we need to focus on with our shadow. How do we best come into ourselves during this hibernation period, please? How do we best come into ourselves? Okay, first card down. Okay, this one dropped out 2. That's 2. You can't make this up. We're talking about hibernation, and there's a bear in a cave. Literally cannot make this up. Okay, so 1, 2. Okay. How can we best do this? Okay, 3. again, I don't mean, these cards are magnificent. Communing, taking that moment to breathe, to stop in, to feel what's going on. Okay, Fool. Green Man, the Emperor. How incredible is that planning? Okay, what is the last card, please? Four Arrows, Rest. You can't make this stuff up, guys. Bottom of the deck. This is it. Look at this. Bottom of the deck is 21, right? The World Tree. Look at all the cycles, the little spingles there. The world, as we know it in traditional, is what? Ending of cycles, getting ready for new beginnings, letting the old go. So I'm busy working on a book that I've been writing for a while, and I'm getting quite serious about it. And one of the analogies that I use in this book, and it's really important for us to understand this, because we are so scared of change, is that if we turn, especially in the autumn seasons, right? I mean, the leaves are still falling from the trees. The trees never waver. They don't suddenly droop because they've lost their leaves. They don't suddenly get morbid or depressed. Why? Because at the end of the day, they realize that whatever they are losing will come back again renewed in the spring, even better and more beautiful than before. And I kind of feel like, and here, if you have a look in this card, there are the 4 seasons on this tree, right? Autumn, winter, where we are now, spring, where it comes back to life, and then there's summer. So I think that this is really telling us that it's time to really let go of what we are scared of, let go of what is holding us back. Kelso keeps coming back to this, what's holding us back. Okay. So the first question we ask with this card is, what does my shadow or my subconscious want me to explore? And here we have the stag, right? The stag normally is associated with Beltane, which is about when initiates go out and they go and hunt a stag. It takes skill and strength in order to do that. Now, please, I'm not in any which way, shape, or form advocating, please, going out to kill an animal to show your strength. But the answer to this question of what does my subconscious want me to explore? And the answer is exactly that. It's your strength. Where do you feel like you cannot show up because you're not brave enough? Right? And it's interesting because your strength is going to be key to understanding everything else that plays out around this. Because where you feel you lack courage is going to be a door opening to some kind of healing that needs to happen. So, for example, I don't have the courage to do this because I lack self-worth in that area. I don't have the courage to do this because, let's just say you want to write. Let's just say you want to write a book, right? I don't have the courage to do this because one of my teachers when I was at school told me that I couldn't write properly and that my grammar was terrible. Okay, now that is not something that should stop you from doing something that you really want to do, right? We go back to this card, ideas and aspirations, right? So we're focusing now on who we want to become and what we want to do with who we've become, right? What does that involve? So your strength is going to be key. It makes perfect sense that this is the first energy that we deal with. Your strength is going to be key to actually understanding what you need to look at in terms of your healings that are coming up. Where do you fall short in your courage? Is what I'm hearing. In order to do the things that you want to do, where do you fall short in your courage in terms of letting go of cycles that no longer serve you, whether it be people, places, situations? Why are we holding on to them? If they don't move us forward, now I'm not saying that you ditch people because it doesn't suit you, but if there's a true energy of something holding you back, why are you holding on to that? Okay, it's time to now start moving forward. Okay, the second one that we look at here, the bear, this is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, stones. Oh my God, the next question is, what will give me strength as I face my shadow? Guys, you can't make this shit up. Oh my God. So you've got your focusing on your strength in your first one. This is what your subconscious wants you to focus on, is your strength. That is the general undercurrent of where you are starting. The next question out is, what will my strength give me as I face shadows? It's going to give you the keys, right? So the Queen of Pentacles has all of her resources available to her. She is she's empathetic, she is compassionate, she is solid, she is grounded, she knows her worth, right? She is able to use her resources wisely. Okay, so what this is saying to me is that when you start looking at what will your strength give you, and when you start dealing with where you are falling short with it, you might fight starting. Oh, first word sounds like, and no, I promise you, I haven't had midnight margaritas. What you might find is that you might start seeing that you actually have more resources available than you think. This is about seeing your worth, knowing what you are capable of, right? So let's just say you really do suck at grammar, but you want to be a writer. That is so not the thing you should be worrying about. When it comes to that kind of energy, it's about the message you're putting out. The grammar can be sorted out. Well, actually, right now through AI, I mean, let's be honest. But that's not something that you should be holding yourself back on, right? So your strength is going to show you actually where you need to step up and play into your strengths, right? Play into your natural resources. Think about this. When countries invade each other, I know this is a very random kind of way of looking at it, they do it for resources. Okay, now I'm not talking about like things going on with religious wars and stuff like that. But let's take a step back and let's travel through time for a moment and go back to like ancient Greece. People would attack, they took down Troy because Troy was an incredibly powerful state. It had access to so many natural resources because of its trade route, right? That was its main resource, its trade route, and where it was positioned on the trade route, right? So what I'm going to say to you here is, what is your strength showing you? Where do you need to activate yourself in order to work with the natural resources that you have? When you start working with your resources, what's going to inevitably happen is that you're going to build your confidence. Someone's going to read something that you've written and go, gosh, that's really beautifully, that's such a beautiful message. And that makes you feel good, right? So when you start actually playing into what you naturally have, as opposed to trying to avoid it because you think you can't do it, things start shifting in your confidence, if that's something that you have to work on. And then you start actually being able to move forward and to focus. Okay, so next question up. What must I work on releasing during the season of rest? The Nine of Pentacles tradition. Now, the Nine of Pentacles it's quite an interesting one, because one of the things I said to you at the very beginning was be open to receiving help. And part of the energy I'm getting from this card is the energy of stubborn, right? And I say that, I know he doesn't look like he's being stubborn, but traditionally the Nine of Pentacles is about standing strong in your independence and doing things your way and going it alone. Maybe, right? This period of your life that you are evolving through and that you are changing in is going to require you needing assistance from people. And maybe that's going to require you putting down your stubborn. Because let's be very clear, stubborn is not strength. Stubborn is not strength, right? Because stubborn protects you from being vulnerable and actually doing what sometimes is right because you feel you're right. So that is a very ego-based energy, stubborn, right? It is not strength in any which way, shape, or form. But whatever it is around this, I mean, I'm sorry, but I just have to go back to how beautiful are these cards. I just can't. I love it so much. What I'm going to say to you with this is that look at how because it does say tradition here, right? So look at how you view your ability to receive help, okay? And it can be from anything. It can be from spirit, it can be from family, it can be from friends, right? But again, when you know your worth, I am going to say this because this has come up. A lot of I can feel there's like a collective energy of, yeah, but you can't trust people to do things. I may as well do it myself because, you know, when I ask somebody to do something, they don't do it properly, blah, blah, blah. I get that energy. I'm exactly the same, so I hear you. I am the same as you. But when you know your worth, right, and you are absolutely working from a place of that space, what that allows you to do is to be selective into who you bring into your space, who you choose to work with. When you raise your vibration because of your self-worth, the people that are going to be those people that are not going to show up for you are going to fall away naturally. Why? Because they are not going to be in energetic alignment with you anymore. What's going to come to you are these kinds of people, the Emperor energy, people who know their worth too, right? And are able to give you something to give you a leg up, all right? I do also want to say this because this is coming up and this is something that is very important, especially since we're in the dark side of our wheel of life. We've entered the dark season. What I want to say to you is everything is a balance of light and dark. The same thing with giving and receiving. When you do not accept help from somebody who genuinely is able to help you and who genuinely wants to help you and is capable of doing so, what you are effectively doing is you are blocking their flow of abundance as well. I'm just going to leave that gently in the corner and I'm going to let you ponder on that for a hot minute, because they, by giving, right, you are enabling them to receive even more. Because when we receive, we are then able to give. Okay, there is a cycle there, just like everything else in life, guys. Okay, really important. So look at your outdated beliefs about your needing to do it all yourself, needing to be strong and independent, needing to not need anybody, because that, right, is something you're now going to have to release. We are also going into the age of Aquarius, guys. It is a very community-based energy. The Aquarius energy is going from me to we. Very, very different energies. Okay, we've moved from an earth energy, which is about me and my stability and, into an air energy, which is a light, imaginative, community-based kind of energy. Right, very important to understand that. Right. Um, what part of my life most needs this habitation? It's like hibernation, but just without the sleep. I'm just saying. Okay, so up comes the Emperor, the green man. Look at that. Look at that. Now, there's a twofer here in terms of messages. The part of you that needs to slow down here is the constant need to do and to take action. Remember I said to you in the beginning, oh gosh, I did. I said you need to slow down. This is a contemplative, reflective state, right? Okay. And we are in a space of hibernation. We've spoken a lot about the receiving of stuff, which is a very divine feminine energy. Okay, it's carrying that energy of I am open to receiving what I need. The Emperor is the yang to the yin energy of receiving, and this is the yang energy of giving. Give your yang a break, right? Stop trying to be everything to everybody all the time. Start learning to let the people around you that love you assist you, be there for you, open up. And I'm going to say this because everybody, I feel, in some ways has become very closed up over the last couple of years for whatever reason. I think that a lot of what's been transpiring in the last few years has broken us down a little. But this here, right, talks to vulnerability there. Opening up to somebody, allowing them to help you, to trust them to do it. And let's be honest, vulnerability is a bitch because we can get hurt. But that's part of where the strength kicks in here. Okay, having to have the strength to know when to give and to know when to receive, guys. This is very important energy because if we can't get our balance of divine masculine and divine feminine right, then what we want to come to us and where we want to be and who we want to be doesn't balance out. Okay, it just doesn't balance out. And what I do want to say here, right? Let's take this as King Arthur, right? Let's take this as King Arthur on his way to Camelot. You've got more feminine, divine feminine energy in your general energy than you do masculine. The divine feminine is sitting here going, Work with me. I'm here. Work with me. The divine masculine is off doing his own thing, which for any twin flame that will know it is normally the case, but we'll just go with it. Bless them. May their journey be safe and beautiful. But what I'm going to say is that there is this need, right, to contemplate the space that the divine masculine energy is giving you. It's giving you the space when you relinquish the activity that you're constantly doing, the need to do all the time. Even in this card here, right, look here, he's over a cauldron and he's got all of these instruments he's doing. The feminine energy here of the pentacles, she's just sitting there checking out the sunset. She's there standing there and she's looking out and she's like, yeah, this is my kingdom. This is mine. This is all mine. This is my kingdom. Okay. Different energies. There's no action in this card. There's an alertness and awareness in the oh gosh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. But there's no action. There's action in the Emperor card. Okay, so we are really being called in this period of time to step into our divine feminine energy, non-gender specific. If you're a guy watching this, dude, you need to do it. We all need to do it, right? And then we move, sorry, excuse me, right, into how will this hibernation benefit me? This is the Archer, fast-moving energy. Okay, I'm getting the word propel. This is in effect the Chariot card, guys. The 7 is the traditional Chariot card, right? Now, the Chariot card traditionally is about a black and white Sphinx pulling a chariot with no reins, but it is being the direction of where it's going is up to the driver, right? It's a mental decision that then sends the chariot off in a different direction of their choices, right? Now, look at this card. I'm going to try and put it as close as I can so you, oh shit, hold on, I think I'm trying to avoid this light. Okay, let's do it this side here. Okay, I hope you can see that. Right, there is only one arrow, focused intention, one decision to make, one way to go, right? Now, this is what this hibernation is giving you. If you can relinquish this control to do everything, right, you will gain clarity on your next steps as to what you should be doing to get to where you want to be, who you want to be. I go back to this who we want to be. This is very specific for someone or for a couple of you, but it feels like within the energy of the feminine, so that is within both male and female because we have duality, remember, but there feels like this energy of I really need to actually be able to do this. Like I need to become someone that I've never been before. There feels like there's brand new awakening that's happening. Brigid, birth, right? Soul empowerment, birth, passion, radiance. Stepping into your true self that's needing to happen here. Okay? So what I'm going to say to you is it's really important around this time for you now to understand that this, if you use this correctly, this hibernation space will propel you. That arrow is going to be propelled, right? Look at the tension in that space. Will be propelled into where you need to be and who you want to be. Okay. Now, again, you cannot make this shit up, guys. What lessons can I learn from this season? The 4 of arrows. This is the 4 of swords. Rest. Guys, that in order to become who we want to be, sometimes we need to put the swords down. Not everything is going to require heavy action. Not everything is going to be a battle. Sometimes the most important thing that we can do is just surrender into stuff. Surrender into our faith. Surrender into our trust. Surrender into our receptivity around things, okay? Because this, in effect, this period of rest is what basically, let's just say you're in the metamorphosis phase. This offers you the metamorphosis phase, which will then project you to where you want to be. Oh, sorry, I nearly smacked you in the face there. Where you want to be and where you want to go. Okay, so I mean, you literally can't make this shit up. I mean, this is a very, very clear message. It's a very simple message. It's not even like I have to clarify this. This is completely in alignment with the energy of this of this period, about reflecting and about being receptive. And, nature doesn't resist. When it comes to this energy, nature doesn't resist this period of rest. It embraces it wholeheartedly, coming out the other side renewed for whatever that's going to be faced on the other side. Oh, sorry, I just mixed up those cards. Sorry, my bad. It never resists. The bears don't resist going into the cave. They're like, woo, I'm going in for a nap now. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Hasta luego, muchachos. Enjoy it. We need to start learning that life doesn't necessarily always be a struggle, is what Kelso is saying. We put too much emphasis on everything being a battlefield, when in actual fact, if we just surrender into our receiving, it's about learning that our manifestations come to us in ways when we are in spaces of receptivity and in our divine feminine energy. That's too many cards. And that's what the main collective energy is around this. Okay. So let's have a look here. Okay, advice for the collective, please, Spirit. What final advice do you have for the collective spirit? For the collective spirit. For the collective, please, Spirit. Anything else? I keep hearing one more. There we go. Okay, we done? We done. Okay, thank you. Right. And what do we have? Again, both energies of the divine feminine energy, divine connection and practical intuition. Right. What I want to say here is the Emperor, right, for all of his beautiful strategizing and action giving, is not necessarily always an intuitive, right? He doesn't tune into intuition. He makes logical and rational decisions. Okay, and that's great for certain things when plans need to be made. But when it comes to us and who we are becoming, who we are literally metamorphosizing into, it comes down to feel, not think. Okay, and so what these cards are saying to us is breathe into this. Go with this. It's important that you are in these spaces. Okay, very important that you go into the spaces. Make sure that you're spending time in meditation. Even here, the dude that's the Nine of Pentacles, that's the strong independent, he's communing. He is communing, right? There is no doubt about it. He's surrounded by sacred rocks with a full moon behind him. He's on the earth, grounded. He's using symbolic energies around him. Okay, and what Kelso is saying is that we really do need to tune in to our earth energies, I'm hearing collective mother energy. Okay, so that doesn't mean you have to be a mother, but it's that nurturing and that love that we would give to children, we need to turn internally and give to ourselves. Okay, very, very important. Beautiful. Using your intuition. And if you have a look here, first of all, there's a lotus on there, which indicates zen and calm. And the other one here is, if you look, there's a bunny rabbit. Bunny rabbits in the tarot always indicate abundance. Okay. I'm also hearing that using your intuition will take you down the right rabbit holes that need to be dealt with, and not just sending you on a wild goose chase. Okay, so guys, I'm just going to do one final little message here from the little messages from Avalon. Let's see what we get. Please, Spirit, what is the final message for the collective, please? Final message for the collective, please. Well, that's a lot. Oh my God. Okay, I'm taking all three of them. Oh my God, I'm taking all three of them. Guys, you just can't. I can't even. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for these beautiful messages. Right, first card out. That is the Lady of Shalott, right? I don't know if you know the story. It's one of my favorite paintings, poems, and songs by Lorena McKennitt. The Lady of Shalott is in the boat, and she was on an island. She was cursed that if she looked away out of this little turret in the island thing that she was in, that she would then die. And she fell in love with Lancelot. She saw him, and she turned around to glance at him in person, and the mirror cracked and the curse fell upon her. So, but this is basically not saying you're going to die, just putting it gently out there in the corner. But this is her in the boat. She got into the boat to cruise down to Camelot. Let's just do this again and have a look here. journeys to Camelot, right? Again, let Camelot be the analogy for who you want to be. Okay, that was weird. Sorry, the power just went off. Okay, so what I'm going to say here is, how's that? We've just gone into darkness. How's that as a confirmation from Spirit? It's completely weird. Okay, so what I'm going to say to you here is, this is very much saying to you that it is a time for rest and reflection. It is in the silent pause that we find the answers to our questions. It is in the breath that we anchor our soul. Can't make this up, guys. The next one out. The owl. Owls stand for wisdom in the Celtic, well, in any tradition, but specifically in the Celtics. And it says here, don't be imprisoned by your past. Create a brand new you and hold the vision. Right? Letting go. To create who you want to be, guys. Who you want to be. With the wisdom you've obtained during this period. Finally, we have another owl on one of the sacred stones. Never be afraid to voice your truth, as truth comes from a deep place within your soul. Well, people, I really hope that you have enjoyed this reading. I have so loved being able and been so honored to pass these messages over to you. Again, pop-up reading for this. If you want your own personal reading for this, I will leave a thing in the description box below, and we can take it from there. So I'm sending you so much love as always. I've got quite a bit coming up for you in the next couple of weeks, so I will see you on the flip side. But enjoy your beautiful winter solstice, guys. Enjoy your space of hibernation. Sending you so much love.